Very happy Sunday to you, and welcome to Today at Keeneland, our first Sunday of this spring meeting. And what a Saturday it was. We shattered records all around. We broke the record as far as handle on a single card in the history here at Keeneland by more than $3 million. Close to $26 million was wagered yesterday here at Keeneland Racecourse, and an opening Saturday record was set as far as attendance. 34,775 joined us here at the races. We thank you. We hope you had as much fun as we did, and boy, was it a lot of fun, Gabby.
It was a lot of fun, and no surprise that we shattered records. I mean, the card yesterday was absolutely tremendous, and you could just feel the energy walking around this facility, the grandstand, everybody out having a great time, and we were so fortunate to be blessed with beautiful weather as well.
We are at Wagering Central. If you need any advice or help while making wagers today here at Keeneland, swing by Wagering Central and hook up with one of the betologists, or stop Gabby or myself as we pass between the paddock and to the front side over by the winner's circle. We'll definitely help you out. But looking at what is going on today, aside from the two fantastic stakes races, we have the Beaumont and the Appalachian. We've got Kids Club Family Day. Kids Club members and their families are invited to enjoy a day at the races with free admission and Kids Club activities on the North Terrace from 12 to 3 and access to reserved grandstand seating in sections A and B. So make sure that you take full advantage of that. It's going to be a big swing from College Day on Friday to Family Day on Sunday. Little different atmosphere.
A little bit different. Just a little bit different.
And
we also have something going on tomorrow here.
We do. The April sale is back. The sale itself will take place on Tuesday. We'll have full coverage of both the sale on Tuesday as well as the breezes for these young horses. 2-year-olds will be breezing. They'll be working here on the main track and perhaps on the turf course, weather permitting, and that will take place at roughly 11 a.m. And if you want to catch that, we're going to have complete coverage, Gabby and I, on TVG2. So we'll have full coverage of the sale both Monday and Tuesday on TVG2.
Really looking forward to that. What a productive sale it was. I mean, it's been on hiatus since 2014, but it produced the likes of Lady Eli, Roy H., and I believe 6 classic winners.
There's some serious bloodstock. Big Brown passed through the April sale, so serious bloodstock has passed through this sale, and we're glad to have it back, and we're glad to provide you coverage on TVG2. But we talked about yesterday in setting records, 34,775 in attendance here at Keeneland Racecourse, but let's reflect on the racing. Imprimis was so impressive in the Shakertown after going down to his knees. How about Out for a Spin in the Grade 1 Central Bank? Ashland stamping her ticket to the Kentucky Oaks at a massive price. And also, Vacoma did not disappoint. He established that solid position going into the first turn and was able to kick on quite nicely. For George Weaver, a local boy, a Louisville native, who now will have one of the favorites for the Kentucky Derby.
It was a really emotional victory for him, you could tell, because after the race we were talking to him and he mentioned that he's been coming to Keeneland since he was a little boy, and he's been coming to the Bluegrass with his dad since he was a little boy. So this moment was huge for him yesterday, and he stamped his ticket to the Kentucky Derby. Vacoma, I also thought Win-Win-Win ran a tremendous race for Mike Trombetta. He lost nothing in defeat, in my opinion.
And how about Javier Castellano? I mean, the man is just on an absolute tear here in Lexington, Kentucky, and we'll see if he can continue that. It seems likely given the stock that he rides every single day. But we had some rain overnight, as you know. What's going to happen the rest of the day? Let's find out from our friends at WKYT.
Hey, Keeneland race fans, meteorologist Adam Bernison here in the WKYT Weather Center. Unfortunately, we are tracking kind of a wet and kind of scattered stormy day out there for later on this afternoon and into this evening. We're going to have these scattered storms on and off, not necessarily lasting all the race day, but still temperatures into the lower 70s, kind of sticking throughout the afternoon. And some of these storms could be on the stronger side, producing very gusty winds and lots of lightning. So that's one thing we'll have to watch for throughout this afternoon and into this evening. Otherwise, enjoy the races.
All right, so bring the umbrella, bring the raincoat. Thanks, Adam, again for the weather update. But right now, it's fine.
Beautiful.
But it's Central Kentucky. We know the weather can change on a dime.
Yeah, so come to the races, be prepared for weather. But right now, it's absolutely gorgeous.
Full card selections. Let's see how we match up, Gabby. What do you think?
Okay, well, we clearly agree on the first 3 races, but after that, it looks like we differ in opinion quite significantly, even in the featured races. So race 7 is the Beaumont, race 8 is the Appalachian, and it looks like we're going in different directions there. So I kind of sense a theme here at Keeneland. It seems like we do agree on the first half of the card and kind of all over the place the second half.
Give us a follow on social media at Keeneland on Twitter as well as Instagram and Facebook. You can also watch Today at Keeneland on TVG2. You can access TVG2 via the Watch TVG app. That's on Roku, Amazon Fire, as well as Apple TV. So plenty of opportunities to catch this fantastic program. But let's get into one of the features, the Appalachian Stakes presented by the Japan Racing Association. Grade 2, $200,000 at a mile on the turf course. And the morning line favorite is the number 1 horse, Claus, at 3-1 for Juddmonte Farm and Chad Brown.
And Chad Brown has won this race 3 times, including last year, so he'll hope to continue that momentum. Between Chad Brown and even Mark Casse, they've won this race many times in the past several years.
It's such an important race. Winter Memories, Lady Eli, Catch a Glimpse, La Cornell, Rushing Fall last year. This is the cream of the crop each and every year when it comes to the 3-year-old filly division on the turf course, and I cannot get myself away from Claus the One. She is my top selection in here. She's run 1 time. She came from well off the pace with Irad Ortiz Jr. in the saddle. He gets the call back, unsurprisingly, and you can see from where she's at this stage of the game, she still has some work to do, but she does it with ease. She's a daughter of Speightstown. She's part of the Juddmonte breeding operation, such a powerful international breeding operation, and jumping 2 months after this straight into a deep race like this, the Grade 2 Appalachian, I think says everything. I think she is the filly to beat and is another one that we'll likely be talking about, at least for the next couple of years, for Chad Brown as a graded stakes filly/mare.
It's highly likely, isn't it?
Very likely.
She got a beautiful trip last time out, and it's not to say that she's going to get she won't get a good trip once again from the Real Post. I mean, she's well posted. She has wonderful connections as well. But I'm going to take a slight go against her with the number 5, Princessa Carolina. I loved what I saw from her 3-year-old debut, which we'll take a look at. This was in the Grade 3 Here Comes the Bride on the 2nd of March, and she weaved in and out of traffic even prior to here. You can see she's just trying to get her feet from underneath of her to catch the eventual winner in Cambier Park. Now, the winner was a Chad Brown filly. She sat a little bit closer to the pace. I thought she had the tactical advantage, but I thought that Princessa Carolina lost nothing in defeat, and at least she's got 1 race underneath her belt. Her 2-year-old races were okay, too, so I like the fact that she seemingly has made that progression at 3.
Yeah, she didn't have a clear trip in the Jessamine last fall, and she ran into a buzzsaw in Concrete Rose for Rusty Arnold and Big Blue Nation Racing, so she definitely is a player in today's Grade 2 Appalachian presented by the JRA. But time now to check in with our friend Tom Leach.
Here with Mark Casse, and we're going to talk about horses in the Sunday Stakes. Power Gal first up in the Beaumont. Off the board last time, but you've been very inconsistent prior to that. What was the story on the last race?
Not really sure. We tried her around 2 turns. She had won previously 2 turns. We're going to cut her back. She's going to have to step up her game. It's a tough race tomorrow. So,
okay. Yep.
Mixed emotions.
Let's talk about the 2 in the Appalachian on the turf. Beautiful Ballad. Looks like she's really blossomed since she went to the grass.
She has. She put together 2 really nice races. Threw a bit of a clunker the last time, but she was running off early, and Adam couldn't get her covered up. I think the key to her is to get her covered up, and if he can do that and she'll relax, she'll run well.
Catch a Thrill, a couple of very, very impressive performances going short at Gulfstream. How about stretching out here? How confident are you in that?
That's the question. I think she's extremely talented. The key to whether Johnny can get her to relax early. She has a lot of talent. It's if she'll relax, and if she'll relax, then she'll come running, and she'll run very well. But I expect big things out of her in the future.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Trainer Mark Casse has 3 in the stakes races for Sunday.
And one of them has scratched. That interview with Tom yesterday. Power Gal is a withdrawal from the Grade 3 Beaumont Stakes presented by Keeneland Select, so make sure that you take note of that. And speaking of the Beaumont, let's get right into it. It's race number 7 furlongs. The distance, Shanghai Rain, is a scratch, as is Power Gal, not noted on this graphic. But we have, through the year, seen California horses do very well, shipping in to take on this Grade 3 race. Last year it was Gas Station Sushi for Richie Baltus. Just a few years back, we had Ciao Bella Luna for Jerry Hollendorfer, Mike Pipey with Turbulent Descent back in 2011. And we have another SoCal invader this year, Mother Mother, who now finds herself on the rail after the scratch of the 1. But, Gabby, I'm going with the 3-horse Queen of Bees, a daughter of Flatter, who is bred to like an off-track. If we get rain over the course of the afternoon, Flatter offspring, they strike at 19% on an off-track. This filly has done nothing wrong, and I love playing horses that are going to be value because they're stepping up the stakes company for the first time, but have shown ability, and you know the money is going to go towards the Baffert filly.
Yeah.
So this may be the last time in which we get a very good price on Queen of Bees, because her last race was very, very good on the 31st of January as we take you back to it. She's been the favorite each and every step of the way, but this daughter of Flatter is just a flat-out runner. I mean, she ran in 1:36.2. Her debut, she finished second, going 3/4 of a mile, and I think that 7 furlongs is a perfect distance for her, and watch her just air it out here in the latter stages of this race as she wins by 2 3/4. Jose Ortiz is back in town to take the call after winning yesterday's Wood Memorial up at Aqueduct with Tacitus. So watch out for Queen of Bees. Is it Bays or Bees? What do we
Bees.
Bees.
I think it's Bees because she's a half-sister to Flattering Bee, who ran at Charlestown, West Virginia. I was familiar with her being from the Mid-Atlantic, and she was very fast, a stakes winner.
So Queen of Bees.
Yeah, Queen of Bees.
She's going to win. That's my selection. Where are you going?
I like her. I do like her. I love the progression that Jorge Abreu has managed to make with her. 3/4, 7 furlongs, a mile. Now she's cutting back. She's got such a tremendous foundation underneath of her. But I did go to the California Invader and the number 2, Mother Mother. I just, when you look at her, Bob clearly wanted to see if she could be one of those top 3-year-olds in the division and stretch out in distance. She was going against some of the top 3-year-olds in her division, like Chasing Yesterday and like Bellafina. But I think she's just a better one-turn horse. We'll take a look at the Rags to Riches at Churchill Downs, where this was going the one-turn mile. So clearly she is just better at one turn. But she also has a lot of speed. So now, with all of the scratches, I think she's going to be able to get the jump on Feedback. I think Feedback's pretty quick, but she should be able to maybe dictate from the inside post position. And, I don't want to say she's getting a class relief, but I do think that this is a manageable field here now that she's going 7 furlongs. So I do prefer her, but I do think you have to consider Feedback. Chad Brown was telling me before Feedback ran last time out that he didn't think he had her at 100% in terms of fitness. And you could see her kind of struggling coming down the stretch. So with that one race underneath of her belt, I imagine she's going to step forward. That's what makes this field, I think, really interesting today.
One quick note on Mother Mother. Bob Bafferty's won this race once in the past. It was with Victory USA in 2004, and she beat a really nice filly in half bridled. You referenced Bellafina and taking on that competition. Well, Bellafina just aired in yesterday's Grade 1 Santa Anita Oaks and is likely going to be the favorite for the Kentucky Oaks at Churchill Downs. And this is the time of the year, and we saw it with Bob's runners in the Santa Anita Derby with Roadster and Game Winner, and then him almost winning the Santa Anita Handicap, got beat this far with McKinsey over Gift Box. This is the time of the year where the Baffert horses start to peak. So you have to keep that in mind, and we'll see if Mother Mother, the Keeneland graduates, can do that today in a very, very tough Grade 3 Beaumont Stakes presented by Keeneland Select. All right, key race angles. You're going to take us to race number 3, which is a turf event at 1 1/16. You can scratch out the 8, as well as 13, 14, 15, and 16. Tough little race. Where are you taking us?
It is 1 1/16 on the turf, and there are a couple of horses in here with some really nice pedigrees. We even have the return of Life Mission, who's speaking of Ben Colebrook. A couple days ago, he scratched out of the opening day stakes to opt for this spot for him since he's still a maiden. But I did go to the outside with the 12 Bar Harbor. I want to show you this replay because I thought it was ultra impressive. This first-time starter out of the Shug McGahee barn, he hesitated a little bit coming out of the gate. I didn't want to show it, but he did obviously lose contact with the field straight from the get-go coming out of the gate. I thought the winner kind of got the jump on him, but you can see in the Stuart Janney Silks down on the inside, I actually thought Jose Ortiz gave this horse a tremendous ride considering the gate break. He managed to save ground throughout, but he just seemed like he ran out of real estate, and he was a little bit green in the first part of the race. So I think that experience is going to catapult him forward today. I just think he's got a lot of talent from that one race alone.
I mean, he was just kind of guiding him late in that race.
You don't see that from first-time starter, especially at a Shug McGahee's barn usually.
That horse my top selection, too, so I completely agree with you in race number 3. My key race, let's go to race number 9. You can see scratches in here. Take out the 8, the 11, as well as the 14. I'm going to go to the rail in Run and Ray for Adam Beskitza and Joe Sharp. This is a colt by Street Sense, a Keeneland graduate from 2017's September sale. This race in which he comes out of was on a muddy strip at Fairgrounds. We'll take you back to it on March 16th. It's the only start of his career. But they ran in 109-3, and he is trying every step of the way. The winner of this race went wire to wire. It was another Joe Sharp horse. I just like the way that this horse finished. He never stopped trying to catch that pace setter. And, you know, it's tough to catch a horse that gets loose on the lead, especially on an off track. So you can't hold this against him. He was roughly 5-1, but he'll come back into focus, and you can see he's still gaining ground late. So Run and Ray, if he runs that race or even takes a half of a step forward, I think he's going to be tough, and I like the stretch out in distance. He's going to establish better position going into that first turn, and may even be the pace setter because you've got sprinters stretching out. Not sure how this pace is going to develop in race number 9, but I like running Ray a lot in the nightcap.
When I looked at this race 2 days ago, I wasn't considering the forecast, and I actually thought that, you know, the negative thing about him was that he's bred to like a wet track, but he might get that condition today, so that should even boost him forward even more so.
Well, there's a lot of horses in that race that should like the off track. Arch, Orb, Shanghai Bobby, they are all stallions that produce runners on and off track, so consider that in race number 9. All right, it's time for our Keeneland Clocker report, and we are going to go back to race number 1, and unfortunately one of these horses on the report scratched Kamari that was highly thought of for our man Wesley Ward, but you have to consider Wesley's other horse that remains, so we'll focus in on race number 9, Run and Ray. Wasn't asked for speed in the final quarter of a mile in 24 flat. Handled the mud in his debut. So the workout report for the 29th of March, 4 furlongs and 48-2, 18th best of 42. Liked what they saw as far as the Keeneland Clocker report. Multi-race exotics, we've got an early pick 5, that's race 1, but let's move on to the late pick 4, which starts with race number 6. It is a 50-cent minimum wager. And this 6th race, a mile and an eighth on the turf. You've got some European pedigrees to lean on. This is a difficult way to start the late pick 4 today on this Sunday card.
It is, and I used the most horses in this leg of the sequence than all of the other legs of the sequence. It's a $36 play, and I'm going to be using 4 horses with the 4, 6, 7, and the 13. The 4 hierarchy for trainer Shug McGahee, the number 6 Keeneland Rock, who I thought was interesting. He first faced Graded Stakes Company last time out and had enough class to hang on. But my top selection is the 7 Battle of Memphis. He's facing winners for the first time today, but I think he's got enough talent to pass that test. And the 13 Pillar Mountain actually draws in off the also eligible. The last time we saw him, he ran a very good race against tough competition on a soft going at Saratoga. So I didn't want to leave him off the ticket. In race 7, the grade 3 Beaumont, 2, 3, 8 for me, Mother, Queen of Bees. I did not leave her out. And then number 8, Feedback. It's a small field, but it's a very quality field. Race 8, grade 2, Appalachian. I'm going to be using the 1, 2, and the 5, the 1 Claws for trainer Chad Brown. Your top selection, Scott. But I was also interested in the 2 winning envelope for Chris Block. She actually did have a little bit of a troubled trip last time out in the Florida Oaks. And I think with a cleaner trip, she could definitely be in contention. And then my top pick, the 5 Princess Carolina. In the 9th race, maiden special weight, just will be using the 2 and the 9 Unveiling and the number 9 Bandon Woods for trainer Chad Brown.
All right, $36 investment. I'm going to spread in the first leg. I'll go 3, 4, 6, and 13. The 13 is my top selection. This is a European colt, Irish-bred son of Kodiak, who handled the off-turf course at Saratoga in his last race 8 months ago. You just have to expect that Fletcher's going to have him ready to go. He's 31% off of these extended layoffs, but I do like the 3 Midnight Tea Time hierarchy. I think Shug is in line for a big day today here at Keeneland, and then Keeneland Rocks, a horse that just might outclass them all. He's been running against stout competition, and this is what Mike Maker does, right? He claims horses for high dollar claims, and he turns them into graded stakes types, especially on the grass, and especially when they're a little bit older. This is a 5-year-old gelding. This horse was recently third against Grade 2 Company, just beaten by Zulu Alpha and Melmich. So Coolin' Rock is the class of that field in race number 6. 2-3, Mother, as well as Queen of Bees in the Beaumont, rather. We talked about that one. As far as the Appalachian, I'll go 1, 3, and 4, led by Claus. Catch a Thrill, the number 3 horse for Mark Casse, makes a lot of sense. And then the Macam Bullet for Wesley Ward. This is a horse that's run against some stout company overseas. Those races at Newmarket, as well as York, when you're competing in the Cheveley Park Stakes and finishing second behind Fairyland in consecutive races, that was a top Aidan O'Brien filly at the time for Coolmore. That is some serious competition, and she ran against boys last time out, some like it Hot Brown. Put together a decent effort yesterday in the Bluegrass. He set the pace for a while and then weakened, but don't sleep on the 4 in the Appalachian for Wesley Ward, the Macam Bullet. And then as far as the nightcap is concerned, I'll go 1, 2, and 6 to close things out, a $36 ticket. And yesterday, some folks made some serious cash because the All-Stakes pick 4, I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but the All-Stakes pick 4, and then especially the All-Stakes pick 5 was what, $30,000 or $40,000? That's what it paid for 50 cents?
I believe so.
Tens of thousands of dollars.
Like 36,000 or something to the 2
to Vacoma. Yeah, and he won.
Yeah.
So some folks, if you know anybody that hit the pick 4 or pick 5, make sure you give them a call. Maybe they're out in hiding. That's where I would be if I hit that. I probably wouldn't be here today, Gabby. I'll just be honest with you.
Why?
If I hit
Just
for 30 or 40,000,
to Sunday.
I'm not coming because too many people want to borrow money. It's just there's a lot of pressure. You can't do it. All right. We go from our late pick 4 analysis now to our best angle of the day, and you're going to wheel us back to race number 3.
Yeah, I just really like this race, so I wanted to showcase it as, my best angle, my best play in this type of race. I talked about Bar Harbor, the horse that I do like in here. He's my top selection. I truly think he's the horse to beat. But you also have to respect the likes of Life Mission. I believe we have a replay for this horse, and this was 2 starts back going against Stakes Company, where he was second behind Empire of War. He beat the likes of A Thread of Blue. A Thread of Blue came back to win the Dania Beach and the Palm Beach over the course of the winter down at Gulfstream Park. That horse has been in sensational form. And I like that Ben Colebrook scratched out of the opening day stakes race to place this horse here because, he has been maybe a little bit out of his league recently, but he has been performing in those races. They probably just want to break his maiden and then put him back against graded stakes competition. So I'm going to be using him, but I also wanted to use the number 9, Red Sorrel. He had a sneaky bad trip last time out, so I'll be boxing those and exact.
I'm going to go with a mid-card double with race number 4, a maiden 50 claimer going 7 furlongs, and I'll go 2 deep in that 4th race. I'm going to use the 5 and the 10. The 5, Yabba Dabba Dude for Chris Davis. Cuts back in distance. He needs to put it together here today if he wants to break his maiden at a higher level maiden claiming rank as he's running against this afternoon. And then Not Now ran for Stanley Huff. They're going to add blinkers. They're going to cut back in distance. They're going to drop in class. And Stanley is a tremendous conditioner. So I'll go 2 deep in that first leg. And then as far as race number 5, I'll go 5, 7, and 8. The 5 combination for Joe Orseno, who had a wonderful day yesterday with Imprimis, who we'll see running at Royal Ascot most likely in the King's Stand. Then I've got My Sixth Sense for Mark Casse, another horse that should appreciate the cutback in distance. I liked his last race. He just got tired. He went too quick early, and 6.5 furlongs should hit him right between the eyes. And then finally the 8 horse, R1 for Steve Asmussen, has come out of some live races at Churchill, bounced out of that disappointing run at Churchill at the end of his 2-year-old season to win immediately at Fairgrounds. So we'll see if he can take that next step here today, a colt by Candy Ride with Florent Giroux in the saddle. So again, that double, race 4, 5, 10 with 5, 7, and 8.
Looks good.
All right, Tom Leach, his pick of the day. He likes to swing big. I like the fact that Tom goes swinging for the fences with these long shots. He's going to take us to race number 2, and race number 9. He's got the 2. That's the confusion. He's got Unveiling for Shug McGahee, who's 10-1 on the morning line. Shug is 30% on sprinter route move. Johnny B gets the ride, and By Arch will love the stretch out in distance. I'm taking his pedigree a bit further, too. This gelding comes from the same Phipps female line that has produced Pine Island and Point of Entry, grade 1 winners at a route of ground. So I agree with Tom, and one of the horses that I used on my late pick 4 and also is in my top 3 selections. Unveiling, second time out for Shug, the pedigree to go long, gets to go long here today. If you can get close to 10-1, this horse is an across-the-board play.
And that's a number 2 Unveiling in the last race. So
number 2, yes.
Number 2,
yes.
A little off there with the graphic. But I love this horse. He looked like a prototypical horse that needs 2 turns because he broke so fast and then the field just swallowed him up at sprint distance. But he's got the pedigree and I think he's got the class to successfully make the transition to 2 turns. But that's a really fun field. I really liked that last race on today's card. We could maybe see some superstars.
It's a great mix of racing today. I mean, yesterday we were jam-packed with stakes races and graded stakes races and the pressure of, taking this step towards the Kentucky Oaks or the Kentucky Derby, or to Royal Ascot in Imprimis's position with the Shakertown. And today, we have the 2 features, which are fantastic races, but we've also got these maiden allowance races, more horses that we could see break out. I mean, we continue to see these breakout performances, whether it be in maiden races or allowance races. So I think it's...
Well, one race you might be alluding to is Honest Mischief yesterday on the undercard for Chad Brown.
Filthy.
I think he might have been a second slower, or maybe just under than the track record. I mean, that could be argued as one of the top performances of yesterday too.
Between him and Intrepid Heart, I mean, these are horses in allowance races that we will see a lot from moving forward in 2019, and that 9th race has the markings of that, and clearly the Appalachian as well as the Beaumont. We'll see a lot of these horses moving forward, especially with as productive as they have been. So make sure that you join us. Make sure you bring out the rain gear, an umbrella, a raincoat, whatever it is. Kids Club Family Day, that takes place in the North Terrace from noon to 3. For Tom Leach, Gabby Gaudette, I'm Scott Hazelton. We can't wait to see you out here to enjoy a Sunday at the races with us here at Keeneland Racecourse.
For far too long, people have been left to wonder what ingredients are in their beer. As your leader, make that handsome leader, I shall put an ingredients label on every case of Bud Light. This way, the people will be sure that the kingdom's favorite lightest lager is brewed with the finest ingredients. That was really great. Did you get that?
Oh, was I supposed to be writing that down? I was drawing this pony.
Bud Light, now with an ingredients label.
We're here at Toyota Motor Manufacturing, Kentucky.
This is Toyota's largest manufacturing facility in the world.
Let's go take a look.
Come on.
Toyota has invested over $8 billion in this plant alone, producing over 11 million vehicles.
It's all part of Toyota's commitment to the beautiful state of Kentucky.
Helping to create jobs for nearly 25,000 people. You gotta love that.
Toyota Camry, built in the USA.
Toyota, let's go places.
Ladies and gentlemen, Keeneland welcomes Children's Choir Innovation a cappella, a vocal pop group of students ages 10 through 15. This group has been together for over a year and has performed at the Voices in Harmony a cappella Regional Festival and will perform pre-show for Innovation's spring production of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Innovation Arts Academy specializes in training students ages 3 through 18 in singing, acting, and dance. The students in Innovation a cappella are chosen for their promise in vocal ability, harmonization skill, and performance confidence. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem.
Broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Keeneland is proud to recognize Jane Martin from Security as the Employee of the Day. Jane, congratulations.
See you at the races.